sleeping in his Fort Fairmont, learning to wrestle. He's been known as Dude Love, Cactus Jack, Mankind, but tonight and forever, Mick Foley will simply be known as WWF Champion.
Mick Foley, the legend.
Yes.
WWE Hall of Famer, 3-time world champion, best-selling author, stand-up comedian, now a reality star, and a lot of credentials. But welcome to the show.
Thank you. I think I'm going to get sidetracked because you got my video on there.
Yeah.
And it's showing my first day in WWE.
Oh, wow.
And
Bringing back some good memories.
Yeah, it's bringing back some good memories. I was really in the zone there as Mankind.
Yeah.
It was a dark character, so I had to find a way to channel that darkness there. It wasn't easy, but I found a way.
Exactly. So you had a lot of good characters. More people only usually have one, but you had 3 successful characters with Mankind. I guess you could say 4. There's Mick Foley and then Dude Love and Cactus Jack. Which one was the most fun to play?
The most fun, actually, when I left full-time wrestling and or competing, as we say, in WWE.
Yeah.
And then I became the commissioner, and that was a 180, because that was a really lighthearted character. I mean, that was like polar opposite from when I entered the company in, 96 as Mankind. And that was fun. That was really fun because that was the Attitude Era, and everybody was kind of cool. Man, speaking of not cool, what was I thinking with those fashion choices? That was like the Native American fringe jacket that was offensive to all Native Americans.
We apologize.
Yeah, I'm so sorry for all of you out there. So sorry.
The other styles is a fashion icon.
I was actually watching the Countdown show on WWE Network, and I was looking at that and many other egregious fashion mistakes that I made in like our 6-minute segment with me and The Rock, and I just said out loud in the Foley Christmas room, I just said, I might as well start wearing a fanny pack. And so I did.
Yeah.
Because even though, those styles were awful and the fanny pack looks terrible, at least it serves a purpose.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm going to try not to watch the video anymore.
It's okay.
Yeah.
It's just there for
I don't even remember what the question was.
So let's talk about, now you're on Raw as the general manager.
Yeah.
What's that like on a day-to-day from, different from being a superstar? How involved are you in making the matches and, getting on the mic, and how's the interaction with the superstars now?
It's a lot different than when I was the commissioner in 2000. It was really lighthearted in 2000. It's funny because that was the Attitude Era, where anything went, and here we are. And my approach was very lighthearted, and my interactions with the superstars, even the bad guys, were really lighthearted.
Yeah.
Every once in a while, I get angry. And here I am, supposedly in the PG era, and it's really intense, like almost all the time. I finally had a chance this Monday to have some laughs at Chris Jericho's expense. But like, funny. I needed to do that because everything else, it's like, man, my job's like in jeopardy. I got Seth Rollins is a good guy. He's on my case. Jericho's starting a list. The list, and he'll get that thing over too.
Yeah,
like
everybody's on the list.
He's amazing at that thing. Just finding obscure things and making them work. And then Rollins is on my case. Rollins and Owens. So there's no shortage of people who are angry at me. Right. And I'm like, well, have you guys not looked at the show and who was in charge in the past?
Yeah.
Do you want to go back to the Brad Maddox era?
No.
Do you want to go back to the Corporate Kane era? I think I'm doing a really good job.
Yeah, definitely an upgrade. So this is going to be the first pay-per-view since the brand split, the Raw versus SmackDown. SmackDown had their backlash. Now you got the Clash of Champions.
Can I throw
my
sports coat over that monitor so I don't have to look at childhood photos of myself? Yeah, let's do that.
You got Clash of Champions Sunday.
Yeah. You're the first person who's gotten it right.
Really? What
everyone keeps saying Clash of the Champions.
Oh.
Yeah.
I know, it's a little confusing.
I know.
We had Night of the Champions, and now we just got this Clash of Champions.
Yeah.
All right. But it's going to be a good night.
That's a Vince McMahon edict.
Okay. Yeah.
There's no the.
He would get on you for that.
Yeah.
So what can we expect from the first Raw pay-per-view, and what do you think could be the match of the night?
You can expect the unexpected.
Right.
I think you can expect a show. The SmackDown guys did set the bar pretty high with their show. So you can expect us to be reaching for that bar, and trying to reach it and vault over it. Won't be easy. And you can expect, Owens and Seth Rollins to have a great championship match. This is Kevin Owens' first official main event, and he's a guy with a chip on his shoulders. One shoulder. Did I say shoulders, plural?
Yeah.
That's wrong, right? As a figure of speech, you don't have a chip on both shoulders.
He
right?
might have a chip on both shoulders.
He does. I think he does. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to check. On Monday, I'm going to see, or on
Just
Sunday,
ask
I'm
him.
going to see if he has a chip on both shoulders.
Check in with him.
And he does well under those circumstances. And Rollins is going to be up for the challenge. And then I think the women are going to have an outstanding match. And I think you have this outstanding story with Brian Kendrick coming back to WWE after such a long time away, challenging T.J. Perkins for the WWE Cruiserweight Championship. I think those guys are going to be out to establish the Cruiserweight title as must-see. Right away.
You don't get on SmackDown.
Yeah, you don't see that on SmackDown.
Yeah.
And I'll encourage those guys to go for it every time they're out there.
Yeah, they put on a good show.
Yeah, those guys, and I'll give a lot of credit to Daniel Bryan and Mauro Ranallo for telling a great story. And it's really because Daniel knew that those guys, the better story he told, the more valuable they would become to Raw. And he did it anyway because it was the right thing to do. And I appreciate that. I'm all about trying to make everybody better. I think everybody prospers when everybody's at their best. And so I appreciate that. Yeah. And it's going to hurt me to crush Daniel underfoot because of that.
Yeah. You got to, though.
Yeah. And then Rusev and Roman Reigns is going to be, extremely physical. And how am I forgetting about this? Cesaro and Sheamus.
That's
the last one, man. My feeling on that was that we're not going to get all the internet fans. They'll decide right away, nobody needs to see another one of those. Yeah. But there's a lot of people out there who have no idea how physical these guys are. Yeah. And in the same way that the casual basketball fans, not the diehard fans, but the guys, people who tune in for the playoffs, only start to figure out how physical a series can become at Game 5, where they might not get it when a guy comes into town once or twice a year. When they teams play each other and establish these great rivalries over the course of 7 games, I think that's the feeling we've gotten, where these guys are so physical. Not everybody has to get it. No. But the people who are getting it loud and clear that these guys are physical on a level that you rarely see. And I'd like to be out there for that. I do. I want to be out there. It's just as important to me as a championship match is, because this is something that I booked, and it wasn't thought to be. It was kind of going against conventional wisdom, and I think they're going to come through big, and I think it's going to be a great matchup.
Yeah, they always doing superhuman stuff.
Yeah,
so it's going to be good to watch. Now you talked about the women's match. There's a triple threat for the women's championship, and how far the women's wrestling game has gone. They're a lot better wrestlers. There's not babes who just come down in ballet. But now, to throw a little wrinkle into it, your daughter wants to be a WWE superstar, Noelle, as we see on the Holy Foley show. How has that process been going? And how long did it take for you to get on board? Or are you still not on board? You kind of hope she just
It's a great moment in sports entertainment history when I put the
why'd you do that
claw.
to JR, man?
He questioned my integrity there in that '97 interview. That was a really
good interview.
It was a really good interview.
In character.
Yeah, I stayed in character that whole time. That was good stuff. All right, my daughter. Yeah. Man, my daughter's chances would have been better if it was back in the age of the divas, where you didn't have to be as incredible. These women they're tremendous athletes, and they are fierce competitors. And my daughter, she's not real competitive.
Yeah, she's smiling a lot.
She's smiling a lot. Yeah, she's smiling a lot. She doesn't have a mean bone in her body. Yeah. And, we'll see how it goes.
Maybe she can use that to her advantage. She just smiles through the pain and nothing gets to her, and she's crazy.
We'll see. That was a tough thing for me to find that aggression.
Yeah.
Because I wasn't the classic. I don't want to ruin this for the guys out there, but I wasn't being like the classic alpha male. Like I had to find a way to like, get that aggression because otherwise people will swallow you up no matter how much you love it, and no matter how many cool things you could do. If you don't find a way to fend for yourself, you will get that. You'll get stripped down to the bone.